Hello everybody, and thank you for stopping once again to TurningPage.net, the place where you can find Christian books and then some more. Today we're going to be talking about a few additions that we're making on this second video of Turning Page. And I just want to browse through the website. There's been some minor changes, but I want to keep you up to date on what's going on in as much detail as I can of the progress. This is a new endeavor for me, and I want to share this journey with you in as much as possible, at least from the beginning. There's other things that happen on the background that are not so important. They're more like on the tedious side, but I want to share on the front end what's going on with the website. And today we have some additions, and one of those additions is the addition of the Bible in Spanish, which is this one right here. It's called the Santa Biblia RBG, which stands for Reina Valera Gomez, and version 2010. So what's the thing about this Bible? Well, at some point I discovered that and I discovered it on my own because it was more like a common knowledge among especially theologians. But I discovered that the translation of the Spanish Bible was not the same as the translation of the English Bible. And so there were some discrepancies, differences between the Spanish Bible, I think it's called the Reina Valera from 1960, if I'm not mistaken, and the King James Version. And so when you read and compare both of them, then you'll notice the differences. And so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to read or get acquainted, because I haven't read this version right here, but I have read the King James, and I have compared them both in certain verses, and I do see the differences. So this one right here, even though there's still some differences, is a close translation or closer translation to the King James Version than the Reina Valera 1960. So the 2010 is a closer translation to the English version of the King James Version. So, and it's in Spanish. It's got the words of the Lord Jesus in red, and it's got some references in the middle. Well, let's click on it right here to see what I mean by that. So right here we can see on the image the references in the middle and the letters or words of the Lord Jesus in red, which is a helpful guidance to know who's talking in the context of what we're reading. So let's go back here to our page, and that's one of the additions that I wanted to share. It is this is the paperback version, and I like to add the I think they call it the leather book cover. I like the leather book covers better, but this is what we have available right now. It's a fine addition as well, especially for a church, because of the book cover. I don't have anything against the book covers, but I do believe that if you have a Bible, it better have a nice cover, because the words inside are already good, are already clean. It's a nice compliment. And so it's sort of like when you go to a wedding, right? You go with a mindset that is something beautiful that you're gonna be allowed to partake of, and then and so you dress well, and it's sort of like the cover, you're dressed right. And that's why we're also making available these nice Bibles King James Version with nice covers. Another change that we already spoke about this Bible software on the first video. And another change that we made was adding this book. Used book is the complete works of Oswald Chambers. And so let's click on it so we can talk about it a little bit. This is a really fine book. One day when I was driving towards, I think it was Georgia, because we're in Florida, so anytime you drive out of the state, most of the time you have to go through Georgia. So one day I was driving, and somewhere along getting close to the border of Georgia, I came across this radio station, and they were talking about some passages from this book that Oswald Chambers wrote. And the book was called My Utmost for His Highest. And so here we can, sorry about that. And here we can see it's not sticking. Nope, doesn't want to do it. But towards the bottom it says My Utmost for His Highest. So the point with this book is that it has very, very good reflections on the Christian living, and so it can help you grow spiritually a lot. And I say that because so much was I impacted when I heard those passages that they said on that radio station that I was inclined to get this book. Now I have read some of it. I haven't read the whole book, but the important thing is that if you're interested in growing spiritually, this is a book to have, and if you have the time to read it, that's even better, of course. It's 1,492 pages long. Because it's not just one book, it's got multiple books. So this is a fine addition to your library and to your reading. It doesn't come with a CD, so just be aware of that. And let's move on to the next edition. No new books yet. We're still waiting on a couple things to get our order in here. And let's take a look at used books. We have put two new used books, and one is called When Skeptics Ask, and the other one is The Works of Josephus. Josephus was a historian, and so it helps us understand the history of what we read in the Bible, to put things in context. This one is also a big book in the sense that it has over 1,100 pages, and it's in good shape as well. And I think this one we already talked about in the first video, these two books. And we added this one right here, United States 250 years. It's not necessarily directly related to the 250 years of the United States, but it does have a strong connection in the sense that we find the foundation of the United States, which began with the founding fathers. And we see that here. And in this book, we'll find the various documents that are part of that foundation. The website doesn't allow me to make it any bigger, but here is a list of all those writings, those documents. So, with that said, head over to Mi Latte Coffee and get some coffee, order some books, and thank you for stopping by to Turning Page. May the Lord Jesus bless you and keep you until the next video. Bye now.